Alright guys and girls, we're back. Wolverine Racing. So this past weekend we went up to the Gulf Coast, Mississippi, and spent a couple days at Cruising the Coast. I know it's a crying shame, but I have never gone to Cruising the Coast and actually brought a car. So this year, 2022, I was able to get IPS to a point where I felt pretty confident that we could take it to Cruising the Coast, me and my wife, and drive it for a couple of days and have a really good time cruising around in it and not have a really bad time on the side of the road. So that's what we did. We brought IPS to the Gulf Coast and stayed with some friends in Bay St. Louis, and thank you Rick and Terry for letting us stay there. It was great. It was about a 16 or 17 mile ride from their place in Bay St. Louis to Gulfport area, all on the beach highway, which was just a blast to drive on. I had the front end aligned at Henry D's. The day before we left, they did a great job. The car drives great. You can drive it with one finger. I mean, on the steering wheel, it just drives awesome. It does ride a little rough because the suspension is tight, and you know, it's got solid body mounts in it, subframe connectors, and you know, it's set up for the street, but it's also set up for drag racing too. But the car was flawless. I mean, just flawless. In traffic, it didn't run over 190 degrees. I probably put 300 miles on the car. You know, beat on it pretty good too on this 300 miles. It seemed like every red light we rolled up to, we were first in line. And if you've ever been to Cruising in Close, if you're the first one in line at the red light, well, there's a lot of peer pressure to do some things that the law probably wouldn't agree with. But, you know, you look over your left shoulder and your right shoulder, and sometimes you give them a show and sometimes you don't. But it was an absolute blast. If you've got any kind of street car, any car that can be driven on a street, race car, doesn't matter, you know, bring it to Cruising the Coast. I guarantee you'll have a great time. We were blessed this year with some great weather. Every day was sunshine and, you know, low 80s. At night it was down in the 60s, low 60s. So just some great cruising weather. Met some great people. It was just a blast. I can't wait till next year to do it again. The car's only got a little 355 in it with some Dart Pro 1 aluminum heads and a little 750 Holley on it. It's got headers that are too small for it, exhaust that's too small for it. It does have a Moser rear end with 430 gears, so it'll get out the hole from a stoplight pretty good. The car hooks very well. I'm very, very happy with the way the car hooks on the street. The back end of the car is solid. And it was a blast driving it with that motor. However, I can't wait to get the new motor in it to up the power, a couple hundred horsepower, hopefully. This motor was a blast to drive, and it got pretty decent gas mileage. It runs on pump gas. I did put a little octane booster in the pump gas just because I knew I'd be beating on it a little bit, and but it worked out great, absolutely great. Transmission worked great. Just cruised wonderfully. Had the stereo banging in it. Me and my wife just had an awesome time on the beach. So back to that new motor. Hopefully it'll be done here in a few more weeks, and we'll get that and put it in a car. That'll up the cubic inches in it. It'll should up the horsepower, and then to top it off, there's the puppies. Red-a-Roo, Chevy Lee, and over there all by himself, Mr. Independent, Hershey. He's a border collie. She's an American foxhound. And Red-a-Roo is a black German Shepherd. And there's the little one, Miss Dixie. Yeah, Miss Dixie. Hello, girl. I know, Ruru, you want your ball. I gotta get back to making my video. All right, so when we get the new motor, what's gonna go with the new motor? Well, look what came in. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A little bit of go-go juice. So that'll go in IPS when the new motor goes in. I almost hate to swap the motors. That motor ran so good in that car. I hate to do it, but it does need a little bit more horsepower. There's been some talk between myself and young Timothy about going back to the track and doing some racing. So got a little bit of work to do to the Wolverine. Not much, just a little. She's pretty much race ready. Do have a few little things I want to do. I'm also waiting on a set of shocks, but we could go with the shocks we got if we have to. So hopefully we will be at a track soon doing some test hits. I'm going to attach some videos that my wife took to the end of this video from Cruising the Coast. I hope y'all enjoy them. Again, if you can make it, if you ever have the chance to go. It's a blast. Wolverine out.